Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Steel, fun papa fee.
Hi, welcome back. You're still watching Prime Morning, and it's Newsflash. We're going to get into some of the stories you saw my colleague bring you there, a bit more detail into it. But we'll love to hear from you in the course of the show, so stay interactive. Send your messages on WhatsApp, on Facebook. Do stay interactive. We are live on all those platforms, and make sure to share it, and let's hear from you. Well, today we are going to spend some time to talk about the 24-hour economy and understand, just try and make sense of what has happened at GIHOC, because this is a very important policy of the government, and to see a state agency come out to say they've abandoned its implementation in their company because of one or two reasons. It's important we pay attention to it, especially as far as the future of the policy is concerned. So we'll hear from the MD what he said to the press, exactly what he said to the press. We'll hear from him very shortly. But also, linked to this has to do with the provision of jobs, because, you hear 24-hour economy, you hear one job, 3 shifts. And that was a message that really sank well with not just the Ghanaian people, but the NDC grassroots. And it does appear at the moment, party officials are under pressure to provide jobs for the grassroots. The chairman of the party is on tour, and he's been urging government to deliver on their promises, because he says that the future of the party depends on government delivering on its promises, and particularly providing jobs to the people. The Deputy General Secretary, Mustafa Bande, has also been, meeting various groups, trying to assure them of government commitment to do exactly that. Even Malik Basantale himself has been under a lot of pressure to try and deliver some jobs, and he's been doing his part. But it does seem to suggest that that has not been sufficiently done yet. So we'll try and get into it. Did the NDC overpromise? Was that what happened to them? Or just the grassroots are just being impatient? Well, in studio with me, let me just introduce my guest now, and then we'll get into the newspapers very shortly. Dr. Palgrave Boakye-Danquah is in studio. He's a former government spokesperson for on security and governance and security. He's a key member of the Canada Japan campaign team. They've been very busy campaigning in recent time, and I'm surprised today he didn't wear his Canada Japan Lacoste. Wow. He used to wear, I've seen him across all other platforms. He's got this bold Canada Japan face on his Lacoste, but today he went brown. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. My T-shirt is gone to the laundry. But I'll wear it next week.
Wonderful. Yeah, good to have you.
Much. It's good
also,
to be here.
Also in studio is the former Member of Parliament for Boem constituency. I will say he's my former Member of Parliament, Honourable Daniel Ishama. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. First time meeting you.
Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much. And I'm also happy to be here this morning. But currently, I'm the Acting Executive Director for Complementary Education Agency.
Wow.
Formerly the non-formal education.
Oh, okay, great. We'll get to talk about it more. So
yeah. If you give me maybe some 10 minutes.
Yes. We need to understand, because I'm not sure so many people are familiar with that. Yeah, we'll get to talk about it a bit more briefly. But let me just go through the newspapers now. And the Chronicle newspaper has got Dr. Yao Osei Edichum on the front page, and he says Edichum is NPP best hope for 2028 comeback, according to Thomas Kusi Boafo. And you also got Brian suggesting that we should freeze mining for 90 days in a bid to deal with Galamsey. So freeze all forms of mining for 90 days to deal with Galamsey. I'm not too sure how this will be received. And then the Eastside newspaper has got Alan unveils new party today. Yes, it's happening today at the Coconut Grove Hotel. It's a historic new dawn for Movement for Change. So we are waiting to see whether they will maintain the butterfly or what will be the new identity of this political party. So we'll be looking forward to that. Galamsey crisis, Brian Chapon calls for 90-day mining pause amid EPA warnings, and cooperative movement takes center stage as Africa converges in Ghana for 25th Saka Congress, and Amilcar Cabral Ideological School mourns the passing of Comrade Abiodun Aremson Aremu, and Minority chases Communications Minister over alleged rejection of Recton's $1 billion lifeline for Haiti. And English Alata traditional ruler questions please inertia on Ayite Konko killing on the Eastern newspaper. And finally, the Ghanaian Times newspaper has got established Rise Development Board for active state intervention to transform the sector. That's according to IFS. And also here is court discharges businessman accused in Ahmed Swale murder trial. And the minority leader advocates inclusion of legally binding CSR clauses in contracts. And men must take interest in breast cancer education to help combat disease. And Ghana Health Service calls for vigilance to curb the spread of influenza, which is currently on an outbreak in the country. So basically, those are the key things. Let me just bring Doc in on this proposal by a member of his party on the 90-day mining freeze to deal with Galamsey. That's quite, some will call it a bit too much, because it's not small-scale mining. It's the mining industry must freeze for 90 days.
Well, Ms. Bao, we have always stated that John Dramani Mahama must take best lessons from President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana Addo banned small-scale mining for almost 18 months. And Mahama has been in office for almost 10 months. I'm sure by this time his honeymoon is over. He's in Beijing attending a global leaders conference for women. I would have thought that for Ghana having the first female vice president, Professor Jainan Opoku-Agyeman should have left that delegation. She's in Belgium somewhere, wondering what's happening in Jubilee House.
She's back. She's back in the country.
She's back, yeah.
She was in the OT region.
It's good she's back. I mean, but we've lost a very beautiful opportunity to let the global world know that at least from the time of Beijing Women Affirmation, we've been able to achieve something. I mean, this is just a very good civic responsibility.
You think the vice president should have gone?
I felt that the vice president should have led the delegation, because it appears that a lot of things are not happening well at Jubilee House. You heard Minister Muntaka when he was talking about the fact that he received a CV, and the CV purportedly were suggesting that the immigration officer should be promoted to become the Comptroller General. He called the Comptroller General to ask what this means, and he was told that it would take about 5 more steps for this immigration officer to become the Comptroller. Checking, referencing, realizing that he was employed as a driver. To have the Minister for Interior move his vehicle to Jubilee House to tell you that somebody at Jubilee House sent that, and that person should be an important person. So what's happening in Jubilee House? President John Dramani Mahama has said that he's waiting on the advice of national security before he calls for a state of emergency. TUC has already gone on the field, advising that they should call for a state of emergency. Our nieces and nephews in Central Region are carrying buckets of water on their head. We know Wesley girls. Wesley girls are not supposed to be carrying buckets on their head. And the Sadell College students are carrying buckets on their heads. The Fasipin boys are carrying buckets on their heads. Students that we are supposed to be grooming to become the next leaders of this country because of a shutdown of a water pump. I spoke to my niece in one of the schools, and when they open the water, it comes brown. Okay? So you look at it, it appears as though the president is at a place where he doesn't know what to do with this issue, because he keeps doing pilolo, jumping from one place to another. 90 days, we are asking the president to ban small-scale mining indefinite. Look at the time, 7 o'clock. The people who are digging the pit, they started their morning shift at 6 a.m. They'll come on a break at 11:30 a.m. Go on their second shift at 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. Finish that shift, and the night shift will start at 6 p.m. to midnight. Midnight, they'll start at half midnight to 5:30 a.m. That's almost a 24-hour galamsey that is ongoing. Is that what the president promised us? I don't think so. And so...
But NIMOS, I mean, we've been seeing an update from NIMOS and the impact it's been having, look, clamping down on several galamsey sites.
The impact is not yielding the necessary fruits. Where we are, if you are in chaos, you take very stringent measures. Where we are, it doesn't appear as though the president sees the urgency and the level of chaos that we find ourselves in. I'm troubled. I'm devastated. We are living in a country where we are not even too sure what the president's decision is as it relates to the expansion of the Ghana Armed Forces in relation to age. And I've called that the president should appoint a substantive minister for defense. If you look at the mess that is ongoing, that Minister Sam George is the one that must be giving suggestions about the expansion of an age bracket for the military, and Dafia Mekpo must be the one in Parliament to be advising that. If we had a substantive minister for defense, these issues would have been long gone. I was even asking why John Dramani Mahama did not appoint Minister Mustaka as the caretaker minister and appointed my senior friend Ato Forsin as caretaker minister. I mean, it appears as though something is not going well.
Right.
Well, this has been a man who has been in governance before. This is his final term. This is his legacy presidency. I wish the president well. I don't want the president to fail because I want Ghana to work. I didn't vote for him, of course, but I'm a Ghanaian. Look at me. I wake up in the morning, I pay my taxes, I pay my bills, I live in this country. I contribute to the significant growth of this country. You understand? So I didn't vote for him, but he's the president for all. So I want him to be able to do the things right so that all of us can feel safe. We have 48,000 displaced people in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is not a democratic country. It's under military junta. And so what are we doing? We are talking about H1N2 flu that is coming out.
Influenza.
Look, there's monkeypox that is going to break out in Burkina Faso because of our displaced people. These are Ghanaian citizens. There's likely to be a COVID-19 outbreak that will come out. There's likely to be cholera outbreak that is going to come out. So if you look at it, it appears as though it's a struggling country.
It's 9 months there. I mean, would you consider that yes,
look,
all these challenges are there, but
it has been stated.
It's step by step.
It has been stated that it takes time for a president to settle.
Yes.
President John Dramani Mahama was in opposition for 8 years. He should have settled from day one. Of course, he had 8 years to prepare to come back. You understand? He should have settled from day one. Look, leadership is not for the weak. It's for the bold and the courageous. So we want him to be a leader who is bold and courageous, attending to the issues that we need. He stated that it's going to cost $4 billion to be able to run this 24-hour economy. This 24-hour economy, we have said, look, it was a promise that we...
Yeah, we'll come into that. Let me just bring Honorable in on this one. And Honorable, you were nodding your head as he was touching on a lot of things. Yeah.
They are peripherals. Yeah. And I say good morning to you and the viewers again. To my colleague, it's been a while. Number one, I would like my listeners or Ghanaians to know that if a student carry water in the boarding house, that is not punishment. We should know that. That is not punishment. At one point in time, there will be a problem. As a human being, you will face a problem. You will face a situation. So when we mention students in a whistle, this are they carrying water.
It's because of the shutdown of the
see,
treatment plants, which is because of Galamsey.
Today that will not be ready to face the problems of this country tomorrow.
But Galamsey has literally affected supply of water.
No. I make my point clear. I am not talking about Galamsey. If my brother is crying over a student carrying water, is that a crime?
Because there's no water available.
No, wait. Even if water is available, somebody may decide to carry water. That is what we should know. Carrying water on the head is not a crime. We must train our children to become the future leaders of tomorrow. I am a farmer's son. You get it right. I wake up even by the time it's 4, 5, I'm in the farm working. That is what brought me here. We must learn to teach our children how to use their head, hands, and brains to work. Now, I didn't say Galamsey water turbidity is a good thing. It's something we must fight. And we are doing it. You get it right. But you hear my brother, he has the chronological period that Galamseyers go and come out. So he knew this while they were in government. He knew all these things. The time they go, the time they come out. What did they do? What did they do? It was the government that even legislated that we should go and mine in the forest.
But he says then the people voted against. They kicked them out of power because they did not do anything.
And that is why we are not doing that. Even that alone is a step in the right direction. They legislate in parliament, go and mine in the forest. Do you get me right? These are the people talking today. So you ask yourself, oh, so since when did you know that this must be done? You know the time the galamseyers go out to mine. When they come out for break. When they go back again. You couldn't do anything about that. You rather went in to legislate that we should mine in the forest. Our biosphere destroyed. These are the people we are dealing with. We know every problem of this nation, number one person is the president.
Yeah.
With the government to take decisions. And so we are working at that. But to tell me, do you know some of the things that the president have to do in China? You are just talking about Beijing. Yes, we agree. But you know other things he has to do? Yes.
At least we've heard there have been some tariff arrangement between Ghana and China.
Yes. So it is not only about gender issues. And you see, the principal spending officer, when it gets to taking some decisions, he must be there. So we shouldn't just polish, oh, it is Beijing, gender. No. You don't have the itinerary of the president. We do a lot of things in this country just to for political gains. Yes, but one thing I would like to be getting from my brothers and sisters from the other side is that when we are speaking, bring data, that they always talk about data. Do you get it right? Today, what we are doing, tell us that, oh, as you come, we seize these excavators. We use them this way. What have you done as NDC? So when you talk about Jubilee House, things are not going on there, on well over there. My brother, look, all that we are doing in this nation, the bottom line is the finance. Even if you employ somebody, you are going to pay the person at the end of the month, isn't it? What is the health of our financial sector? Are we talking about that? What is the health? What was the health of their financial sector? Where even their Minister of Finance ran away from this country. They should just go and bring, even if we don't, they should go and bring Ken Ofori-Atta. He was the one holding the purse.
But you are in government. You have every power to bring him. Why would you
yes, we are in government. We are in government.
So bring him and...
No. They have advisors. When you go, they have council of elders. Ken Ofori-Atta, all that you have done, you just come and tell Ghanaians. We will be focusing on what you and I should eat today, how the lights should be on, how we should create employment, because the unemployment rates are just so scary. So scary. Yesterday I was with Muntaka, and he told me, Honorable, we are going to recruit Ghanaian youth into security agencies. If we do this recruitment, we can take maybe 4,000 to 5,000. But the applications or things that I am seeing is over 50,000. The youth who want to join the security services. This should be a concern. This should be a concern. And that is what we are looking at. How we should create opportunities for this youth. People have completed school 4 or 5 years, no job. They have the certificate. That should be the concern. And that is what we are doing.
So you don't support Brian's call for a 90-day freeze on mining in the country? You don't support that?
Oh, Honorable Brian is a politician like me. He just mentioned 90 days. What goes into these 90 days? What are we going to do? Or you just stand on a platform, 90 days, everybody stop. Which platform are we going to stand on and to say that? Where you have left 45 or 47 forest reserves destroyed, where people are hiding. Have you traversed this country before? I was shocked in August when I took a bold step to go around the country. So where people are hiding, why are they doing this? What can we provide? You tell people, you saw what happens during COVID. MPP couldn't manage Ghanaians, even cities, for 2 weeks. You are talking about 90 days. And when they came out with their COVID report, the mess, they were just splashing money here and there. Were they able to cater for Ghanaians in Accra and Kumasi Cape Coast for even 2 weeks, which is 14 days? Because the people must eat. If you say you ban, this person is doing this to eat. What we want right now is that what way can we mine responsibly, not to destroy the environment, not to destroy the water body, not to destroy the forest. That is what we should be thinking about. But when you have opportunity and have the mind, oh, ban Galamsey 90 days. Says who? Who has that authority? The person that you say you should not go and do that job. I am not agreeing to Galamsey. What is the person going to eat when you hold guns? Don't come out from your house and go and do Galamsey or work. Do you get tonight? You are banning it. We should quickly look at things that will help. And with the souls of our brothers who were going to launch an innovative way of livelihood, and the plane crash or the helicopter crash. May their souls rest in peace. These are the things that we should be concerned with. Every Ghanaian is a Ghanaian, and one life Ghanaian lost is one life too many. Now, if you say, stop it 90 days, somebody want to come out, maybe the person just holding shovel to dig then we say you should stop it, you are going to the bush, so we shot you. That is what they are looking for. And they will not get it from us. We shall take our time to make sure that, yes, the people who are doing irresponsible mining, we give them the alternative, the livelihood, and how to mine responsibly. Gold must be mined. Natural resources must be mined. The only problem we have as Ghanaians is that we are not doing it responsibly. We are damaging the environment. And that is what we should look for. And that is why my national chairman is saying that we can't just go by this
state of emergency.
State of emergency. You should find something for the person who is doing that thing and give him the other way around, plan B, to live on. Because that person has children, that person's children must go to school, that person must feed. Talk to them, bring other strategies, and then we move on as a nation. We need gold. We don't need gold.
We do. All right, great. We'll get into it. We will be hearing from the MD of GIHOC very shortly, but let me just also mention this because it's also been part of the major headlines. And in fact, the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has on his page on social media, eulogized, commiserated with the people of Kenya following the loss of the demise of Raila Odinga, the former prime minister. And, what do you call it? He was a stalwart in Kenyan politics. In fact, he's contested many times to be president of the country, just whether it was against Uhuru Kenyatta, it was against William Samuel Ruto. It just didn't work out, and he lost his life. Today, his body has returned. In fact, I was monitoring, he has returned to Kenya. He died in India, and his body has returned to Kenya as the state looks to give him state burial. The president, John Mahama, in fact, just when he was sworn in, he also visited Kenya, and he got to meet him along with the president of Kenya. You're going to see those pictures on your screen. He has also gone on Facebook to commiserate with the people of Kenya following the demise of Raila Odinga. So that was the time earlier this year when the president went to Kenya and met, you can see Raila Odinga there and the President William Ruto on the other side there. So, it's morning in Kenya, and of course, we are all, sympathizing with the people of Kenya. So that's that. But let's take you to GIHOC, because that is where we're surprised to hear that, completely surprised to hear that. They were one of the companies that decided to implement the 24-hour economy, the shift system sort of, just so they can increase production. But the MD is saying that there's been low demand. And in fact, they've been struggling to compete with foreign alcoholic products. And, all of that has made it difficult for them to sustain their 24-hour policy at the company. And so they decided to abandon it and stick to the normal one. But they're urging government to clamp down on foreign alcoholic beverages so that GIHOC can thrive. Listen to the MD.
That is supposed to be producing water. They are close to about 90 there. I've been paying them for the past 10 months. They are not producing. Because the machines, they when I went to the factory and saw the conditions, I felt they needed to remove that. It's not in the conditions that they were operating. That's a whole history, because then my predecessor took a loan to fix it, and that is another whole issue that we can consider.
So he made that disclosure at press briefing, and we're just bringing an excerpt of that. And in fact, he said, interestingly, their branch in Kumasi has had some fault, and it has not been operating. Yet the staff there have been receiving salaries for the past 8 months, and they've been doing nothing, basically doing nothing, but taking salaries for the past 8 months. And of course, that is essentially it's a waste of resources to a very large extent. And this has, heightened the conversation, or even the pressure on government to properly clarify. Of course, there's a policy document that has been released related to the 24-hour economy, but many have been asking, how far with 24-hour economy? We know government says they need some resources to implement it, etc. But how far with it? Is it the case that some of these MDs are not very much in the know as to the details and how they ought to implement it, or what exactly is the problem? Or was this poorly thought through? Or this poorly thought through? Is that the case? Because anyway, let me just leave it there. Let me get the thoughts of I'm sure, Doc, I'm sure you've seen this very report. I'm sure you probably followed it, and you've been very vociferous on the 24-hour economy. And it seems you're not surprised at what you are seeing happening at GIHOC.
When a government makes promises, and sometimes we politicians will say they are whimsical promises, that you know very well that these things cannot be implemented. Ghanaian economy is an agrarian economy. And if you look at the data, in terms of even those that are involved in agriculture, about 47% of the Ghanaian working class are farmers. I mean, my senior brother here, Honorable Asiama, said he's a son of a farmer. I am a farmer now.
And I'm a farmer too.
You see, I am a farmer. You understand? Yeah. But I'm a farmer who lives in urban Ghana. So there are 47% of the Ghanaian labor class that are farmers. If you want to run a 24-hour economy, you must look at an economy that is demand-driven. What we have in Ghana is a demand-driven economy. The promises that were made, you could clearly see the desperation of wanting to come and lead the country with no concretized plan, no strategy, no implementable phases to be able to roll this out. We've seen governments after governments. We've seen promises that governments or political parties have made prior to coming into office. And in less than 100 days, they've implemented at least significant number of their policies. But here we are, 10 months. The president is still on honeymoon. Here we are, 10 months. They need to raise $4 billion US. How much did we go from the IMF? You remember how much we took from the IMF?
Yeah, $3 billion.
Good. It means that the amount of money we need to run this 24-hour economy is more than the money we went from the IMF to salvage the Ghanaian economy. You understand? So how would we be able to implement this 24-hour economy?
I think one of the issues that was also raised, because even sometimes when you listen to the party communicators at the time, they said, well, somebody is only works in the afternoon. The 24-hour economy will ensure that the person works not just in the afternoon, can even work in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And one of the questions that were raised was, will there be demand? If the person comes in the evening, for instance, if it's a watch seller, you've created an environment for the watch seller to come and sell in the evening. The point is that, are there people to buy the watch in the evening? Is there demand? And that seems to be what GIHOC is saying. That look, the products, the things they are using the 24-hour economy to produce, they're having competition from products that are being imported from outside the country, and it's making their work even difficult.
Look, my brother, GIHOC is a very good company. They do alcohol.
Yeah.
And all those things. We have a lot of private companies who also do alcohol, okay? Ghana is a free market. It's opened for people to bring in products.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that when you go to South Africa, Cape Town has alcohol farms, literally. that I know they do regular testing for people to go and see. They have grapes, they have apples, like real grapes that they use it to do these alcohol. You understand? You cannot prevent people from importing things into the country. What you need to do is to be able to create a competitive advantage for yourself. You understand? That is why I'm saying the 24-hour economy, the premise of that. Hey, Ghanaians, do we drink that much? Do we drink? Look, Ghana is not like maybe Paris, where when you're having lunch, there's a glass of wine by you. Ghana is not like maybe Cape Town, where when you're having lunch or dinner, there's a wine by you. I mean, how many people drink alcohol in this country? I mean, very, very minimal. Maybe the elite are those that can afford these levels of alcohol. Then maybe when you come to the low class at Peteshikakra and all those TikTok, there's some things being some rubber that I see that the boys and girls have been drinking. I don't consume alcohol, so I'm alien to all of these things. You understand? But if you clearly see from what is happening, the government is failing. They can't even have feet to stand on. A policy that they have not been able to implement for it to become a civic responsibility. If you look at Danquah, Free Senior High School in 100 days, he had done it. That was a political party that was clear in their mind that this is what we want to do for the Ghanaian people. John Dramani Mahama promised what was what? 333. What? One job, three shifts. Please, what is it happening now? Do you have one job? Do you have three? You work 3 times in a day? Yeah, I don't work 3 times. Honorable is here. He has a new post. Is he? The Minister of Education has given him a new post. You understand? Does he work 3 times a day? So these things that we are doing,
Yeah, so on that note, I say good morning to my minister.
Well,
That's good.
You see, that this thing that they are doing is like they are doing some charade with us. I am troubled. I'm troubled because, you see, the president we have today has only 4 years. In fact, time is fast spent. He's got just about 3 years, 2 months to go. This is his legacy presidency. This is his second term. We will judge his second term with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's second term, and judge his first term of 2012 to 2016 with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's first term of 2017 to 2020. That's how President John Dramani Mahama will be measured. But if I'm to measure him from the time he took office, January till now, in relation to the 24-hour policy, brother, 4 billion. Look at our GP. Look, where is he going to get the money from? We went to the IMF for 3 billion. He needs 4 billion, more than what we went to take from the IMF.
Well, I mean, if you listen to him, even before he came into power, relative to this very policy, he says that, look, he's not looking, I mean, the idea is not to necessarily implement it within the time frame. He wants it to become something that will become a part and parcel of the Ghanaian economy, so it will outlive his presidency. So maybe in the early days, all these challenges that are coming up, they are picking the lessons, tweaking it, and knowing what they need to do so that it will become a part and parcel of an economic life. So maybe these early challenges are good, so that you know
what you don't get is that John Dramani Mahama had 8 years to prepare in opposition to become president. That's what I don't understand. You understand? He got 8 years to prepare to become president, to finish his final phase. And so if you've got 8 years to prepare, and you have come, and you are not able to implement this, what did you do in your 8 years of preparation? The reason why you were in opposition was that the Ghanaian people said that your leadership was no good. The Ghanaian people now, as we know it, have said, why not? Let's give you a second chance. And you are here. You understand? Your final legacy presidency, in 8 years, you couldn't prepare enough to know that these are the sectors I'm wanting to look at as it relates to the 24-hour economy and roll it out almost immediately. We have 500,000 young people who enter into the labor market every single year. The Minister of Health has told us 76,000 of the nurses, he has no plan for them employment even from now to 2026. If the Minister of Health cannot employ nurses, do you think I can employ doctors? You see, so for me, if you look at it, there are big issues that we need to tackle. So if President John Dramani Mahama can come back and say, look, I promised 24-hour economy. Even the 8-hour that I have, I'm not seeing top. So you, this 24-hour economy, let's put it in the fridge and then bring it back later. Of course, you can have a plan for the country. You see, other governments have come, they've had plans for the country. NHIS, it was who? President John Ajekum Kufuor.
Yeah.
You understand? If you look at all the things, it's moved from beyond the governance of President John Ajekum Kufuor. Today, the NDC government led by John Dramani Mahama is struggling to sustain NHIS. It's become cash and carry. People go, they give their cars, they don't even get anything back. People are paying 1,000 cedis, 150 cedis, 300 cedis. NHIS is not covering laps. You understand? So if I look at it, I'm trouble for the Ghanaian people. And all of us are at the mercy of the leadership of the president.
But if you look at it critically, though, what the MD is saying, he says, look, the challenge here is, I mean, the imports is affecting us. And you can attest to the fact that one of the things that make Ghanaian businesses struggle is the manner in which we've allowed, like you said, yes, you can't restrict people from importing, but you can find a way, just like what the US is doing now, what Trump is doing in the US, for instance. You can find a way to protect local businesses. Find a way to protect local businesses. So if the 24-hour economy can work at Gihok, and they are saying that one of the ways that can, one of the things you can do to help us make it work at Gihok is for you to find a way to reduce the import of foreign alcoholic beverages. I think we can do that.
No, Ms.
Shouldn't that be too difficult?
Ms. Bar, it clearly tells you that, look, the government is not thinking right. Because if we have a government that is thinking right, the Gihok MD must not be complaining. That's clearly what I mean. Do you understand? If we have a government that has been prepared to lead, the Gihok MD would not be complaining. Isn't the Gihok MD an appointee of the government of the day? He is. So why is he complaining? It clearly tells you that the 24-hour economy that has been promised to us was not a well-thought-out plan. Clearly. Because, of course, you must look at the various sectors. And you must look at the sectors where you feel that you can be able to drive that economy. So why is the Gihok boss complaining? He's complaining because his superior boss did not consider him in his plan. That's clearly what it means. It means that Gihok cannot implement 24-hour economy. So if Gihok cannot implement 24-hour economy, is it another alcoholic beverage that can implement a 24-hour economy? So you see, production is key. Gihok must be able to think outside the box. Look for markets so that you can also export your products to neighboring countries. Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. You understand? Export your products. Of course, you should be competitive because Gihok is for Ghana. So export yours as well. Whilst we create that free environment for the Ghanaian people to enjoy whatever alcoholic beverages that they want. But the fact that he's complaining tells you that his institution was not considered as part of the 24-hour plan. So maybe he needs to go to the president and say, Mr. President, this 24-hour economy, alcoholic beverages are not part.
All right, let me bring Honorable in now. Honorable, and interesting also is to note that for 8 months, the Kumasi factory has been shut down and the staff have been taking salary. For 8 months. It's been shut. This is not the reset. This is clearly not the reset that we were looking forward to.
Thank you very much. In the first place, if time is anything to use to measure competence and effectiveness, then Nanado wouldn't have failed. He campaigned as a politician for over 40 years. They gave him the presidency. We gave him the presidency. He was the first president to perform abysmally, right with capital letters underlined, where he cannot even call his finance minister to come and tell us how he and the finance minister manage the economy. So when they are talking, they should take their time. Nanado was the person who promised one constituency $1 million for 8 good years. One constituency, one district, one factory for 8 good years. Those are the things that we NDC, we don't want to go and visit the same thing again. Take your pragmatic steps to develop your market. The 24-hour economy is about industrialization. How do you do it using your what? Your local resources. To capitalize on your local resources, like we've been saying, use what you have to get what you don't have. Ghana as a nation cannot start manufacturing cars here. We are assembling cars here.
Yeah.
We don't manufacture. But we have something that God has given us, that is the soil, that can produce agricultural products that could be used to produce factory manufactured goods. And so in trying to do this, you take time, take steps. We call it iteration. I'm a marketer, of course. Now, all Ghanaians, and did I tell you that when you want to pick people to come and discuss alcohol, take those who have been taking alcohol. He doesn't take alcohol, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
But it's a policy issue.
No, he told us that he doesn't.
Yeah, but it's more of a policy issue than
as a marketer, you do product testing. He doesn't take it. How can you bring him to come and be discussing?
But it's more of a policy issue. You're talking about
not about that. We are talking about the business here.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about the alcohol
need the
itself.
Business acumen and the practicality of it. How can he do that? Next time, bring somebody, I take alcohol. So bring somebody who take alcohol, and at the same time a marketer, to come and discuss alcohol. We are all aware in this country that Honorable Matthew Juma, right? Is it Matthew? Is it Matthew or Juma, the MD for...
The former one?
Yes.
Yeah.
He ran down Gihawk. And that is where his... Excellency, John Dramani Mahama says that, how can you sell alcohol and make a loss? He ran down the place. And as a marketer, when demand switch, it takes time to bring it back or to switch it back. Let me tell you, from 2021, 2022, you know that Castle Bridge is produced by Gihawk. You know that? As a former member of parliament, whenever I visit my chiefs, yes, as custom demands, you must produce what? Some drinks for libation and prayers for you. From 2022, I'm sure listeners will attest to those who have been buying. You can't even get Castle Bridge to buy in this country. Kofi Juma was running Gihawk.
Yeah,
he ran it at
Maxwell Kofi Juma. He ran it aground. And so when a new MD comes, these are some of the things that you have to face. And I would like listeners to know that Gihawk is not just running on 24-hour economy. Because the 24-hour economy is an industrialization vision, of which, of course, the Gihawk forms auxiliary or the small part of it. That is what we should know. But if we say we cannot run 24 hours at Gihawk, so 24-hour economy, the vision is gone, please. We should take ourselves from that childish realm. But this is a state agency that is trying to implement a policy that was, it's fair to say, one of your flagship policies. And they are struggling to do it.
No. This is expected to happen. If you are a marketer, you should know. I am telling you that when market switch, when demand switch, it takes time for you to nurture it to come back again through advertisement. Do you get it right? Through searching for new customers. And then the government side of it, we are not going to lay embargo for foreigners, not to bring foreign drinks, not foreigners. Not to bring. You can't do that. But once you strengthen your local industries, then the quota system must come. Do you get it right? The quota system must come. We are in 8 months. And so these things are expected. Now you have to retrofit. You have to run even the one in Accra. You have to rerun it. Are we getting the Castle Bridge as we have been getting before? It's not there. You go to the shop. It was Gihawk that was producing Castle Bridge. It is not there. So we have this challenge to surmount, to work over. But when to say that 24-hour economy, because Gihawk is not running, then the 24-hour economy is a fiasco or it's not true. That one is, excuse me with all due respect to everybody, is a childish assertion.
But you do concede that if a state agency like Gihawk, which began to, implement it because of, the idea that it came with, it's within the area of industrialization, adding what you call value to our raw product. That's what Gihok is essentially doing. Then they've adopted 24-hour economy. Then now they are saying that they are abandoning because of the challenges they are having. You do concede that regardless of what government might say, the explanation that might be provided, on the surface, it is an indictment on government to some extent.
Indictment on what?
I mean, your state agency is struggling. Not a state agency, not an appointee of the former, your own appointee, is struggling to implement your own policy.
Yes, and I'm saying that for about 2-3 years that the products are not on the shelf. Demand has switched. What I mean by demand has switched is that people who have been buying from Gihok have now looked for alternative sources of getting their products to sell. So when you want to come back, you get that brand awareness must be there. Market segmentation again must be there. And then market niching. Who are the people that have been taking first? What maybe the foreign products are bringing competitive prices. Do you get me right? How do I match them? All these things should be on the table for us to work on. So it is because the place has been run down. Now, how come that Kumasi was running then? The Kumasi was running, and that is what informed the management to employ more people to go and work. Is that not it? Now the plant has been shut down. Why? Because at a point in time, the factory is no more producing. The workers are there. So now that you have come, brand awareness, marketing, advertising, those things must be in place to bring back the demand for you to be able to sell. So he's facing a challenge that has taken about 2, 3, 4 years to be created by Kofi Duma. And so we are going to move on that. He himself did mention that there should be brand awareness. And I agree as a marketer, yes, brand awareness, what we have been doing, and how can we also spice up our wholesalers and those who have been taking it from us to look at what they are getting today from the foreign products and what we can do locally to bring back that demand. These are management issues that we have to look at. So it is not just to say that, oh, 24-hour economy has failed. 24-hour economy is a nation's vision for us to own it as industrialization projects to undertaking. Taking care or looking at the eastern part of Ghana, where we have a farm place, where agriculture must set up to bring out the raw materials that could be used to produce industrial products. So these are the things that is going on. So those who are politicians like my brother can just come and sit down here and tell you, oh, a 24 hours economy has failed. It is a plan that is coming, rolling out one after the other. Those that can take advantage of it, like the passport office, they are taking advantage of it for now. And those that are coming, some will face challenges like the one that Kofi Duma have created, honorable, and we have to surmount that and then work on it and bring it back. Why should you be saying that we should be importing goods into this country, we go to South Africa and that? We must produce. Tomorrow, if South Africa says that we are not going to export alcohol to Ghana, so what will our people drink? We should look at the demand and the taste of our people into the future and look at ways that we can use our local products to satisfy those needs. That is what we should be doing. So this is not a political talk that will be on this table and then we'll be talking about it. Now think about cattle. If today we have cattle ranches and we take the hide and we get the belt, we get the bags, we get the slippers, it is going to reduce, automatically it will reduce the importation of those products from other countries. And productivity is what will reduce the importation. That is number one. And so today, if we are producing maize, we are producing rice, what it tells you is that the person who is importing rice and maize will not be so motivated to be importing more whilst we have a lot in the country. And that is where government could also come into the Ministry of Trade to bring about the quota system. Now, this year you can bring this because we have this already. So it is a dynamic that we have to look at critically. It is not just for a political talk. If we want our boys, our brothers and sisters who are there with that job to get job, we must think locally and act global. Because we must look at areas that we could take advantage of and work on. My brother is facing a challenge as Gihok, but I know in no time, such things must work. Like we said, the demand is here, but demand must be worked on. How do we work on the demand? The disposable income of a Ghanaian too is also a factor. Employment is also a factor. When your brother gets a job, my sister gets a job, your brother gets a job, and they are getting some money, and when it comes to birthday parties for the old ladies and the old man, what do you go and buy? You go and buy Castle Bridge or as tradition demands, and then we do that. So you realize that at a point in time, Kasaprekun, gin, was taking the market, and then Jihawk came in with Castle Bridge. Those of us who study the markets, we know what is happening. Now, Kasaprekun have taken over again. How does Kasaprekun taken over? Because the Jihawk, the Honorable Master Kofi Duma, have run down the place.
Okay.
And so it is a job we must do. We agree. But I will not advise my political colleagues to be saying that because Jihawk has failed 24 hours, is gone, it has failed. Not at all. We are going to see how we are going to use their front planes for the production of food, and then other to be used for the what? Manufacturing purposes.
Interesting.
Next time, take alcohol and discuss alcohol.
You know, Ms. Bao, one of the troubling things, really, that Honorable does not realize is that we want to help his government with constructive criticism.
Oh, no.
Okay?
No, that's not.
His government is failing.
No.
They are struggling. Okay? And these are some of the ills that give signs to the fact that this is how the mighty is falling. The mighty NDC, with the mighty majority in parliament, with all of the issues that are happening in the country, we are helping you so that you don't fall. They are gasping for salvation. But if you look at the manner in which he is arguing out his points, you can clearly see that he wants to salvage the situation. But look, it's not the talk, it's the ground that matters. The ground people are speaking. We haven't seen anything Mahama has done since he came. And I asked some young people, let's be very real with ourselves. There's governance, that's a soft governance aspect. Of course, governance is ongoing. But I really do not see any significant growth in terms of policy that the previous government had, that would never existed. That President Mahama has come and has introduced a policy from his political party manifesto that is gradually becoming an acceptable norm for the Ghanaian people. I don't see that. Maybe you will say 10 months is shoot at a time. Two such a time for 10 months. Just by January, he will be 1 year.
You are not good.
A year today, he will be 2 years. 2 years from today, he will be 3 years. And then the election cycle sets in 2028. So should we be here in October 2028 to be discussing what has Mahama done for us? The center cannot hold. So when we come on political conversations and public social discourse, and we meet the government in power, it is their time to take their book. Listen to what we hear from the ground. Because we are not in cabinet with them. We are not in Jubilee House with them. In fact, today as I speak to you, there's no single ministry I can enter into because I'm MPP. You see, if you go there, they will say, what are you come to do here? You understand? But meanwhile, I'm a Ghanaian citizen. So for me, when we come here, we want to advise the government. Because he's the government, he's in power. He came here, the first thing he said was that they give him a job. He's now an acting executive secretary under the Minister of Education. Director, executive director. I'll go and visit him.
Even from here, we can go.
Just tied to the 24-hour economy, because one of the things that was also closely linked to that was the one job, three shift policy. And as I mentioned earlier, it was a message that went down well for the Ghanaian youths and the party grassroots, and they, campaigned vigorously for the party. And based on what some party officials are picking from the grounds, there appear to be a bit of unrest, a seeming impatience on the part of the grassroots for jobs. Now, my colleague Papani, put together this report. We'll share that with you very shortly. And I said Nketia was also on the tour. He was also urging the government to deliver on their promises. So the NDC grassroots are asking government to give them jobs. And we have more details of that in this report. Listen, and Honorable, I'll come to you to speak to that. I'm sure you do have some party faithfuls. Now that you're even an acting director, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people knocking on your doors. And I'm sure you can relate to this very closely. But listen to this report. This is what is happening on the grounds among the NDC grassroots.
Calls for jobs and appointments are growing louder across the grassroots base of the ruling National Democratic Congress. Some members of parliament, including Sam George and Nelson Dafiamekpo, called for a review of the age limit for recruitment into the security services. The growing agitation has not gone unnoticed by party leadership. On his thank you tour of the Volta region, National Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia has been addressing concerns in various communities, including Afajato, where he told supporters their calls for job placements and appointments have been heard.
When you are doing appointments in Accra, there are certain things you may overlook. But when you go to the various communities, they draw your attention to something you may have overlooked. And so I'll carry the message to the President that, Mr. President, the people of Afajato think that they deserve some more.
Asiedu Nketia revealed that the upcoming recruitment into the security services will be conducted at the regional level, a move he says will ensure fairness and accessibility for local party members.
I will beg you, it is never going to be possible for everybody to have appointment every time. And so if during this time some people have gotten their appointment, those who don't have, what we need to do is to rally around those who have, so that the government can succeed. Once the government succeeds, then the people will be convinced to retain us in power. And the longer we are in power, the better our chances will be to get other people to be appointed.
So that was the chairman of the NDC there. The impatience is growing. Some people have not gotten appointment. The grassroots, some of them say they have not gotten jobs yet. And you did mention that, in fact, in your interaction with the Interior Minister, the demand on a stable for people to be included into the security service in excess of 50,000, but the available slots is just about 5,000. Even when you go to the health ministry, the health minister is indicating that he's got at least about over 70,000 nurses who have graduated, ready to be posted. But the slots available, just recently, they've now been able to absorb some 7,000 people. I mean, if you look at it all around, there's a growing number of Ghanaian youth who are unemployed and who want an opportunity to work. The one job, 3 shift policy was massive. They bought into it. But so far, I mean, your chairman is trying to calm people down. It's turning out to be a difficult task for you to satisfy everybody in your party, Honorable.
Yes. And I agree with him. And I agree with those who are seeking job too. My brother, when you get to a family and you have so many children, those children were born not by one day. It takes time. The unemployment we are seeing today was created by these people. A lot of it was created, not they alone, because we had unemployment in the past. All the programs that we should run to even employ the youth of today. A kicker. What was the level of employment at 1D1F? If we want to take that record, what is it? And then when you move again, looking at the banking sector, the banks that they have collapsed, they seized or they revoked the licenses. We spoke. He was with me. The number of people who lost jobs. Some have young kids, some in the schools. All these people are in the house. Now, it is only by the grace of God, because some of us were so scared, the type of debt these people left, the borrowing and could not. If you want to see the results, you look at the DDP that they conducted in this country, even seizing the pensioners' money. They are the cause. But we have to summon that, bringing all Ghanaians along. I understand the youth. Even myself, you get it right. When you come to my office, People are coming.
Do you feel you overpromised?
It is not overpromised.
Why
The
drop
human
3
beings,
ships?
no, it is not that. The human beings are there. These people didn't do that. Do you know what they did? At the tail end of their exit, then they pushed a whole lot of Ghanaians. Yes, we have accepted them. The people were not paid. You are working, you are not paid. They pushed them on the wage bill, but they are not being paid. They say you need final approval and all these things. Now we have to carry all those. About 15,000 at the Ministry of Education. My boss, the Director General, they've been able to carry 10,000. We are left with 5,000 to carry to be paying those people. Why do you bring about that type of plan? When you employ somebody, the person must be paid, isn't it? Now you employ the person has not been paid, and the person is there. Now we have to pay even the arrears. So I understand our youth, but let me assure them, take a critical look at our economy. Where we are today, the city that was at the junk status, we were sacked from the capital market. Today, even if we want to go, we can enter. From January till today, Atufosin has not gone to the international market to borrow any money. We are managing our situation. The money that we take on the treasury bills and all that is the bonds that they've taken, and we have to pay for it. That is it. The government itself is not borrowing money to do anything. We are managing our situation. That alone should give our brothers hope.
The people said it. I mean, they said, look, we were there with you the whole of last year.
Yes.
We're campaigning, following you. It's been 9 months, and they say we've still not gotten a job. We are struggling to take care of ourselves. We've seen the CDs perform well. It's great, but we want jobs.
Yes,
that's what the grassroots are saying.
Economy must open. We must open.
For how long should they wait?
My brother, how long do they use to destroy the economy?
No, I mean, your people, your party people are asking how long should they wait?
I said I agree with them myself. If we read budget today and I get clearance, I'll take them. I'll take Ghanaians, not only the NDC people. I'll take Ghanaians because even my sector, we are understaffed by over 4,000 staff. We are understaffed. We don't have it. So we'll take. But what I'll tell them is that before we can do something right now, the budget must be read. Then we know where we are going.
Because the sentiment is that, look, we've seen some, I mean, this, they compare themselves. I know you're not challenging.
I'm sympathizing with them.
Yeah, I know you sympathize with them. But the point is this, that they've seen colleagues whom they went on the campaign trail with. Some of them are now in offices, have gotten jobs. Some of them have gotten appointment, and they are sitting and they are wondering, why have I been overlooked?
Yes.
And now the chairman of the party is saying, look, the only way we can get jobs for you is for you to continuously support the party, support those who have been appointed, support the party to do well from your homes, and if we retain power, come 2028, you might also get an opportunity. That does not look like a message that will go that way with your people.
I said I agree with them, but we promised Ghanaians to something, don't forget. A slim government. We use it to do campaign, isn't it? Are we doing that? Because when you have a slim government, you are also helping the health of the economy. Are we doing that? A lot have to come to the table.
Isn't that part of the promises that maybe you should have probably avoided?
Yes,
because
if Nanado appoint 125, and today we are doing 60, you don't see difference? Less than half. 125 they did.
So how will you take care of all these people if you want to stick by this?
We are going to take care of them when these programs that we are talking, even at my sector, when I get the clearance, that one, it is not government that is going to appoint you again. I am going to take you. Do you get me right? Other sectors, the ministries will take them. And so right now, I tell anybody who comes to me, from now till December, until our appropriation bill is passed, we have to wait. Because once the budget is read, it is making way for more employment to come.
Okay.
So we are appealing to them. I agree. Even myself, as I wasn't getting the appointment, I get worried. So I agree with them. But when you come to me today, I'll show you what I'm doing to give that opportunity to
Doc, just touch on this. Interesting.
I
touch on it.
Touch on it. Then I just
this is almost
a razzle-dazzle Ananse story.
You can sympathize with them.
No, I
you?
can't.
I mean, you had a similar situation.
I can't sympathize with them because when you ask the honorable, when you ask honorable about the issues that are happening, about the promises that we're giving, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. I have the promises here. I have the NDC manifesto because that's what we.
The one job, 3 shifts.
Yes, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. This is what they promised us. As we stand now, we are not seeing anything. It's a razzle-dazzle pilololo that Mahama has given to us. Razzle-dazzle Ananse story. And we need to be careful. You ask him questions and he's dodging around. Hide and seek. Bring in Danquah. We have asked you about the 24-hour economy. How you are going to take care of the teeming people who need jobs? And you are bringing, is this Danquah's government? This is the government of John Dramani Mahama. After 10 months.
They say if you had employed some of these people, you would have avoided some of this
factory.
Oh, do you know how many people want this?
How many factories are running today?
Okay, do you know how many it's employed? It's employed 100,000 people. And you see, let's be very honest with you.
I agree with you. At where?
And we have viewing public.
100,000.
They know very well what President Danquah did. They know very well all the things that Danquah did. So you see, I'm troubled that when we are here trying to constructively criticize your government and help your government to be able to implement its own policies it gave to the Ghanaian people, you are bringing pilolo, dancing around and saying how many ministers did you appoint. You are saying that you promised a slim government. If you promise a slim government, has your slim government created the 24-hour economy? No. That slim government that you promised, the MD for Gihok is saying you did not consider Gihok in your 24-hour economy plan, which is why it's a razzle-dazzle plan. And we cannot continue to live in a country where you have a razzle-dazzle plan. People don't have hope. The young people today do not have hope. Their hopes are shattered. They're not too sure what they want to do.
He's asking for patience. Asking for patience.
Patience.
That is only
after
10
months.
And
when you had 8 years to prepare in opposition.
The one job, 3 shift will finally be implemented.
Please, I don't have any belief or iota of trust in it. It's a razzle-dazzle plan.
You don't trust the one job, 3 shift?
I don't trust it. I don't see it. Where is it? 10 months. Look, when I get my salary at the end of the month, do you know, I will get a call from my niece, my nephew, my cousin. People will call me. By the time I'm going home, I have only 1,000 cedis left. Then I have to go into my investment account and go and be withdrawing money from my investment account to be able to take out my daily needs because there are young people that are not employed. So when we are here in the interest of the Ghanaian people. We are thinking about Ghana. Ghanaians are struggling. Ghanaians are talking. Ghanaians are starving. Ghanaians cannot get work to do. Ghanaians are always staying home. They are becoming burden on their parents. And so we are saying that, look, help Ghanaians so that Ghanaians can have a better livelihood. When we make these comments in the interest of the Ghanaian people. Because, you see, there's an Akam proverb that says that you who that is leading, you are not aware that you have crooked path behind you. We are the ones that are in opposition. We see everything clearly. Okay. And we are telling you, Massa, get your acts together because this razzle-dazzle plan is not going anywhere.
Well, a few messages coming through.
Chief, do you know something? I am surprised at my brother. The very people who took 97 million to dig the hole. Look at the way they are talking.
Let me read some messages for you. It says...
that money couldn't be used to do something?
Aaron Babako says, the fight against Galamsey is not merely an environmental concern. It's a pressing social issue that necessitates collective action from various sectors. The media must raise awareness. Academia should provide research-backed insights and students need to engage in informed discussion by fostering a comprehensive dialogue around Galamsey. All right, that's some excerpts of your message there. This one says, Meshach says, the government led by President Mahama will soon clear all the Galamseyers from our forests and water bodies, looking at the measures they are put in place. I have no doubt in my mind the current NDC government will stop or drastically reduce Galamsey activities. Well, then Akonsi Gariba from Tamale says, my question to President Mahama is, what did you tell Ghanaians in opposition about the following? One, that you will not impose taxes on Ghanaians, but what is happening now? Where is the 24-hour economy, he asks? Where is the state of emergency on Galamsey? Where's the ban on all forms of mining in Ghana? Where's the LGBT plus bill? Where's the money for the senior high schools, headmasters to buy their own food? However, the truth shall make Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the next president of Ghana, he says. I am not an NDC member or sympathizer, but I voted for John Mahama. But the NDC promised that LI 2462 will be repealed, but it has not been done. What has happened to Yamin and Abanga being involved in Galamsey? In the Bibiani and also Boakye municipality, there's an illegal mining going on in the guise of small-scale mining in the Merowa forest, but nothing is done to check the legality or otherwise, he says. A champion there. This one also, okay, let me just get a feel on the 24-hour situation there. And, okay, this one says, I don't understand what the Gihok MD is saying. What is he doing there? What is he doing there? I think the company has to sack him. If your machine has a fault for 8 months, fix it. If you can't fix the common machine, what are you doing? He says. Interesting. This one says, good morning, please. He's asking me whether I'm aware Maxwell Kofi Juma handled Gihok. Okay, he's making the point Doc was making, that alleging that Maxwell Kofi Juma, run down Gihok. It says all state-owned enterprises were making profit before the Nana Bawumia government took over. Please ask Pa, the MPP member, whether he's happy how the state-owned enterprises were managed under his watch. In fact, their current MPP folks have nothing to say because wasn't Nanado also groomed for 12 years before becoming president? And what did we see apart from the state capturing, thievery, stealing, etc.? And he said DVLA have already started the 24-hour economy, and if the Gihok can't start operating 24-hour, it's due to the super incompetence of the Nana Bawumia government. Okay, this one says, I strongly believe Gihok has immense potential to thrive in the 24-hour economy. We need strategic support. Let's focus on boosting local demand, enhancing product quality, and exploring new markets. Together, we can make Gihok a success story. Honorable Bright, Asamoah Brefo, MP for Bibiani. Okay, regards to Honorable Bright, he says. Let me read some of this. It says, regards to Dr. Digitalization, Bawumia incoming flag bearer of MPP, and Mr. Abrakwa and 2 incoming MP for Banda. Indeed, the alternative is scary and empty. The NDC, John Mahama government can't get funding to support the training of new recruits at fire service. They have been asked to pay for their feeding, which was not the situation under the previous Nanado Bawumia government, he says. Okay, just a few one, then we'll be done. Okay. All right, let me see this one here. It said, this is the difference between MPP and NDC. NDC will always defend anything, whether good or bad. Look at how the former MP is struggling to defend this 24-hour economy. Really. Okay, Alhaji Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. We should be truthful to ourselves in this country and speak the truth for once. The polluted waters we are seeing today did not start under this government. Galamsey started mining in our forest reserves when LI 2462 was passed and the MPP to allow party functionaries and friends to start mining in our forest reserves, he says. Well, a few more. Let's see this one. It says, I am extremely disappointed with the manner in which NDC propagandists have altered the narrative surrounding the fight against Galamsey activities while advocating for state of emergency. This is truly disheartening. Ghanaians will not forgive them, he says. The 24-hour economy has been compromised and Gihok has abandoned it. Where is the one job, three shift they touted? Is it merely a rhetorical promise? Ghanaians demand answers, he says. And this one says, even the MPP Agenda 111, which could employ nurses and doctors, failed big time. NDC is completing them to employ the team in youth. Eric from Hohoy. Okay, Eric. This one says, I should pass the message on to the NDC rep. So we are done with the struggle talk. It's time for solution. Our votes were for progress, no hardship. The past was tough, but our kids deserve better. Let's work together to fix Galamsey, create jobs, and protect our environment, he says. Interesting. Then also makes a point about Gihok. Remember Kofi Jume's tenure? He took Gihok to new heights, even Brandon Apatishi for export. The 24-hour economy concept relies on demand and supply. Okay, and he goes on to make that point there. So basically, that's that. Those are some of the messages. There's one B I missed here. It said the current. Okay, great. So basically, that's it. Anyway. So that's the messages on Galamsey, on 24-hour economy, on Gihok, and we'll have to be wrapping up now. And Honorable, just briefly on your, I'm not sure whether it's an agency or is a department under the Ministry of Ghana Education Service? Just briefly on what your plans are, and then also hear from Dr.
So to Ghanaians, as said earlier, I'm the Acting Executive Director for Complementary Education Agency. Complementary Education Agency Act was passed in the year 2020, Act 1055. Hitherto, it was non-formal education. But the government of the day, during Nanado's time, realized that more problems are coming up with Ghanaians, in which case statistical, the department, through their research, realized that 8 million Ghanaians may either do not have either skill nor literacy. And so the president of that day, or the day, Danquah, realized that we have to pass a new act and make sure that we run programs that could help solve this problem. So aside the non-formal that we know and the literacy, now we have occupational skills. Then we have complementary basic education for children aged 8 to 16. Those who fall up on the primary level and could not continue, we have to identify them or locate them and give them training for them to go back. Why we do this is that our time for studies actually is around 3 hours. Then they'll go back to the house. We prepare them again to join, because they're falling out of school maybe due to economic situations.
So you say that you have classrooms, special centers?
Yes, we do use the existing classrooms or centers. We are rehabilitating some to help these people. And then those who completed GHS, and then they couldn't go to SHS. In their localities, we have to identify them, to train them, give them lectures. We use our facilitators to do so, so that when the BEC is being written again, you can join and write.
I think that this is a brilliant initiative.
Yes.
This is really brilliant.
We are doing that. We have a regional representation and district representation.
Oh, wow.
So it is a nationwide program that we are running, and for which all that we need right now is support from corporate Ghana, because international development partners, they are coming, but now, you know, the resources are getting smaller everywhere. And so we'll be inviting or visiting corporate Ghana institutions that can help us to put up our learning centers to help train our brothers and sisters.
This is brilliant.
In this country.
Doc, just finally, quick one.
The president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has created a job for him, Complementary Education Agency, which means governance is a continuum, which is good. I'm glad. Today, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, good morning to you. Because of your good initiatives under the education sector, the Complementary Education Agency has created a job for my senior brother, and we are grateful. But to be able to state that President John Dramani Mahama said he has the will to be able to fight corruption, let's ask the question, where is Sedinam Tamaklo for causing financial loss to the state? 90 million Ghana cedis. Court has finished the work. She's supposed to be serving a jail term of 10 years. 10 months the government has come, we can't see Sedinam Tamaklo. Where is Sedinam Tamaklo?
Who judged it?
I've been thinking about it.
But the verdict was given under your tenure. You couldn't find
Who judged it? Who judged it?
But the governance is a continuum.
You were lazy on this.
They say if you couldn't find him within the period, why do you expect them to find him?
Oh, really? So we should leave her? Is that what it is?
No. As you were
For
lazy
10 years.
about.
For 10 years,
You
this
people
lady
were lazy
has been
about.
sentenced. She's not here. And the president, John Dramani Mahama, cannot bring her
Where's
back into the
Kenoforata?
country.
Where's
Back into the
Kenoforata?
country.
Interesting.
So please, we want to see Sedinam Tamaklo in Ghana serving her jail term, 10 years. And she has her money, 90 million Ghana cedis.
Okay, well, Doc, thank you very much.
And to finally say that Ghanaians, we sympathize with everybody, those who don't have job, The Galamsey issues are on the table. We are working at them. Just as we've worked or we are working on the economy, don't forget others too will be worked on. And I wish my minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, all the best. Stress-free money that is going, let it continue to go so that the students will get the money. The new academic year will be opening. The sanitary parts, OT region, you saw it. We are sharing the food issues. We don't hear noise like we've been hearing before. And at Tufosin, I've spent billions of cedis paying the bondholders. And these are some of the things. But you need a job, I know, and I understand. And little by little, we'll get there.
All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in. It's been News Flash.